record. Let me try to record the video or the meeting. Okay, so record na tayo. Let's start. Um, so for this discussion, for this class, we will be focusing on the open methods in solving or finding roots of functions. Okay, like the one that we have before. No, so we are setting guesses for the intervals. So remember the bisection method and the false position method. There are both um, requiring the user would set up a lower limit and the upper limit. So for this lecture, discuss lang natin yung another set of solutions or another set of algorithms that doesn't require two intervals or two limits. Okay? So what we just need is a starting point. Ano? So these are called open methods. So for this lecture, I will focus mainly doon sa mga kasama doon sa ating midterm exam. So by the way, your midterm exam will cover the from lecture 1 up to lecture 5. Ano? So yun yung coverage ng ating magiging midterm exam. Okay, so let's start. So bracketing methods, ito yung discuss natin before. There are two bracketing methods that we have discussed before. The uh, bisection method and false position or regular falsi. So these methods are always convergent. Ano, so when you say convergent, after some point, you will arrive at the correct uh, or the root in that equation. So it always converge, or mostly always converge. But the open methods are not necessarily uh, always convergent. No, so sometimes they diverge from the true root. That's because we don't have an interval to begin with. Okay, so we are focusing on just a single starting value. Okay, so tingnan natin ang mga examples. So this is the simplest, the fixed point iteration. So the simplest method, the reason why it's simplest is because, wait lang, I'm just gonna get my phone. So the reason why it's called simplest because you just need to rearrange your function into two components. So you divide the function into two components or separate the function into two components, and then based on those two components, you create two graphs, and then the intersection of those graphs will be your converging point or your solution. So we say that. Um, our value or our function must always be equal to zero. So that is, it means that your f of x is uh, actually passing through the x-axis at that point. So if if this is your function, if this is your function, then this point here is the f of x at equal zero. Okay, so that's the intersection. Now, given that the f of x equals to zero, then we can play around your function and divide it or separate it into two components. How do we do that? This is an example. Let's say we have here f of x equals to x squared minus x minus 2. So what are the possible components of this function? So if we set this to 0, di ba, x squared minus x minus 2 equals to 0. So we can separate two components of this equation. So we have x squared, for example, minus 2, and then the other side would be x. So this part here can be your uh, g of x. So it's not f of x anymore, but it also equal to this part. Okay. So as you see, there are two sides on the equations na. Ano? So there are two possible components of that equation, which is both equal to each other. So that is g of x. So we can say that we can separate f of x to g of x as x squared minus 2, and the other one is g of x is equal to x. Now, the thing is, you just need to graph these two equations, okay? Because they are technically similar, ano? Kailan sila nagiging similar? They are similar when f of x, remember, f of x is equal to 0. Okay? So they are equal on the point of convergence. So that's why you just need to graph it or graph these two functions, and the intersection of these two functions represents the value of x where the convergent is. So ito yun. So, ito yun. You see, these are the two equations that you have. Okay? And then the intersection of those two equations is technically your root. So this is the point of convergence. Okay, so that is the fixed point iteration. So how do we find what is our algorithm to find if it really converges to that point? So we assume that it will converge, okay, if the first derivative or the slope of any of the two is less than 1. So you can check if the derivative or if it will converge if the first derivative is less than 1. If not, then it may not converge. Okay, so that's the idea. So these are examples of implementations of fixed point wherein you may be convergent or not. So for example, in the first one, we start with this value x and then we evaluate one of the functions. So in this case, we evaluate y2 using the value x sub 0. And then we found this value and then map it to y1. So it means that your the value of y2 here will be your y1, and then find the x value that will have equivalent to this y value. So parang nangyayari to, unahin natin, the first thing to do is initiate, provide a guess, initiate a guess. No? So in this case, x of 0, and then use that x of 0 to solve for y2. So in this case, y2, sorry, eraser. Anyway, uh, so we have y2 is equal to g of x sub 0. Okay? So yung g of x of 0 will be your y2, and then map it to your y1. So in this case, g at x equals to 0 is equal to your y1, which is equal to x. And then find that x. So this one will be now your x1. So it's mapped on the x1. And then after that, solve again y2 in this case using g of x1. Okay. And then map it again to the other function, in this case y1. So you map it again here, that will be the value of g x1, which is equal to x2. Okay? So you map I mean not equal, but you map the values, okay? You map the values of the functions at the components, okay? So saan bang eraser na to? Where's the eraser? Okay. Find the eraser. Okay, so ulit. So again, start tayo sa y0, x sub 0. So you find your y2 as g of x sub 0. Okay, so itong point na to ngayon, kailangan, itong point na to ngayon is x0 g of x 0. Yeah. And then use the value of g sub 0 to map at this point. So this point here will be x1, uh, g of x 0. Right? And then use that x to find another point in the next function, okay, or the other function. So you have x1. Now in this case, you solve for g of x1, okay? And then the next, you turn to the next function and solve for the value of g of x, okay? Kung mapapansin nyo, nag-converge tayo, mag-converge tayo dyan. If you still increase the iteration, you will converge at this point. On letter or the next example, you start with x sub 0, you solve for y2 here, and then use the value of that y to solve for the x in this next function. So in this y1 function. So pag nakuha mo na x dito, diba? This will be x1. Then use that to solve for the value of y at this point. Okay? And then makukuha mo ngayon yung y niyan, and then use that y to solve for this point. Okay? And for the x of this point, so that will be your x2. And use that x2 to solve for this, and so on. Then you get your, it will also converge on the point. No? So, ano yung mga examples naman ng divergent? So in this case, you started with an initial condition, let's say x sub 0. Then you solve for y at this point. You map it on the next function. And then you solve for x1 at this point. Okay? And use the other function to solve for y. So you solve the y from the second function, and you solve again the second x value, this is x2, using the other function. So in this case, as you see, you are going out of the, going farther and farther away from your intersection. So how will you know if you are uh, going nearer the intersection, or you are uh, actually going to the convergent point? So balikan natin yung condition. If your slope of the line is less than 1, it's possible that you will converge, or you will have a convergence. No? Okay, so uh, may tanong ba? May tanong ba naman? Admit. Yes. Yeah, admit. Okay. So this is the pseudocode or the algorithm. So first, rearrange the equation of f of x so that it will have two sides now, the left-hand side and um, right-hand side, wherein both can be represented as a function. No? So in this case, both of them are, actually you see here that both of them are still g of x. Okay? So, yung discuss natin yun na. And after that, you set the initial guess, okay, and solve for uh, G using your initial guess, okay, and then let that G becomes your X, no? And then after that, you solve for the G of X again using the new iteration, and so on. So kaparehas lang yun nung discussion natin kanina, graphically nga lang. But in that case, you are using the other point solution to solve for X and then solve for G of X. Okay? So simple point iteration is simple, but it is very prone to divergence. No? So that's why there are modifications, or there are other ways to do the open point or open methods. Okay? So this is another example. we have f of x equals to e raised to negative x minus x. So the first step, like we said, is to set it to zero. Okay. Because this point here is where our f of x equals to zero. So that's the rule. Now, since e raised to negative x minus x is equal to zero, then you will have two functions now. We have e raised to x is equal to g of x, and the other one is x, which is equal to g of x. Okay, so you just transfer the other value here. Okay, then you will have two sides of the equation. But since they're all both equal to zero, if you add them, because it came from this function, then we can have now two separate functions: e raised to negative x tsaka x. So this line here is your uh, f of x. I mean x equals to g of x. So in this case, it's still our g of x. Oh. So this is just changed, just not to confuse you, but they are the same. Actually, they coming from the same point. Okay, we know that e of negative x equals to x. Excuse me. So, and then this is the other function g of x. So if you want to start with, let's say, x sub 0, naglagay tayo ng x sub 0 dito, then the first thing is to solve for g of x using that point. So in this case, this point now is equal to x0 at saka e raised to negative 0, 0 equals to what? Yeah. So this is that point, and then use that point, use the value of your y to map it here. Okay. So in this case, this point now would be uh, x1. Sorry. This point here is x1 and e raised to 0. Diba? That's that point. So this is x1. Okay. And then use that value to solve for um, x1. Okay. So in this case, nag-start tayo kung ano man yung binigay yung value for x, let's say. So this should be x sub 0. X sub 0. Okay. So kung ano ang value bigay nyo kay x, then you can use that to translate. Ano? And then the function here, uh, since f of x1 will be e raised to x sub 0, negative x sub 0, which is equal to x, then x1 is equal to e raised to negative x1, x sub 0. Okay? So, and then after that, you use x sub 1. So whatever you find, the value we find here, gamitin nyo to solve for the value of uh, g of x1 here. No. So we now have x1 and g of x1. And then use that to solve for the value here and so on. So you see, it will converge. Okay. So that's the fixed point. This is the solution for that. Okay. You start with an iteration value of xi, which started with 0, and then use that to solve for g of x. So in this case, dalawa yung functions natin, di ba? Meron tayo ng g of x is equal to e raised to negative x, at saka yung isang function natin, g of x ulit, is equal to x. No? So just to separate the one from the other one. So let's start. Put this one and the other is two. No? Pero pwedeng parehas yan. No? So ayoko lang kayong malito. Pero um, I'm used to using it the same. No, so g of x is still the same. So that just to make sure that they're always equal. Ano? So nag-start tayo ng x equals to 0. So what is the value of g of x when equals to 0? So that will be, let's evaluate g of xi. So in this case, that is e raised to 0, that is equal to 1. No? So this is e raised to 0. And then use that value. So sabi natin, g of x equals to 1. So ito, pupunta ngayon din eh. Okay? And then use that to solve for e raised to 1. Ito yung sagot. Tapos yan pupunta dito. Yun yung magiging value ng bagong value ng x. And then use that to solve for e raised to 0.36. Okay? And you'll get this. And then ito naman yung magiging next na value. Okay? Ganun lang kadali ang simple fixed point. Okay. So let me skip this. Let's go to the next method, the Newton-Raphson method. Newton-Raphson is the one that is being used in your calculators. So yung calculator niyo can solve for roots of polynomials, di ba? So if you're using a programmable calculator, then you can easily solve roots of equation. And the method that is being used in your calculator is Newton-Raphson method. Okay, so this is based on Taylor series. Remember the Taylor series, the expression of the Taylor series is that you use the derivative of the function at additional expansion. So for example, the first term is a zeroth order, therefore we don't have the derivative at this part. So the second term is uh, containing first derivative, and then the third term will contain the second derivative and so on. Okay. So the root of the value of x, um, or the value of x when f equals to 0 or f of x equals to 0 can be solved by rearranging this Taylor series. So for example, we will just use the first order Taylor series. Let's say when we say first order, we are just truncating the Taylor series up to this point. Ano? So ito lang yung gagamitin natin sa first order Taylor series. Now we assume that it is equal to 0, okay? Because the function will have its root when f of x is equal to 0. So in this case, this part here will be equated to 0. Ang matitira na lang ay itong which is f of xi plus the first derivative, and then delta x is the interval. It means the distance between the previous x value and the next x value, or the current or the present x value. Okay, so in this case, in order to solve for the next value of x, okay, we can just rearrange this equation, no, to get this one. Okay, so transfer lang natin this side here sa kabila, okay, and then divide it by the first derivative, so negative na yun doon, and then you move xi to the other side, okay, then you will get this equation. Okay, so wala nang problema no sa pagkuha nitong equation na to. So tandaan lang, this is applicable lang sa first order. So if you want a more accurate uh, estimate, then you will have a smaller increment. Then you can add additional term. So if you add additional term, so dalawa yung hahanapin mo dyan. I mean, dalawa yung iyong derivative, but still isa lang yung hahanapin natin, which is xi plus 1. So saan makikita yung xi plus 1? Nandito yung sa delta x o the interval, sa next na interval. So you just need to rearrange. So in this case, mas complex nga lang yung rearrangement dahil magkakaroon ka ng quadratic equation at this part. No? Okay. So suppose that we have here a function. Let's say f of x. This function block 1. So this is your f of x. Ano yung ibig sabihin ngayon ng Newton-Raphson? Paano ba nag-work yung Newton-Raphson algorithm? So sabi natin, this is an open method. It means that um, it doesn't require two guesses. So in this case, our initial guess is starting with just 1 point at x. Um, Remember the false position. The false position is also using a line to calculate or to find the value of the root or to estimate the root. So in this case, we will also be using a line. But in this part, we will be using the line tangent to the point, which is represented by the derivative. Di ba, ang derivative of a function is the slope of that line. So in this case, kinuha natin yung derivative ng function f of x at that point where xi is present. So dito sa part na to, doon tayo kukuha ng derivative. Nung kinuha natin yung line that is tangent to that, and extend natin yung line na yon, and it will hit the estimate. It will hit um, the value of x, or our next value of x. So in this case, xi plus 1, ito na yung magiging new value for x. And then we get the derivative again, this point naman, no? Mapapansin nyo, that point. And then get the line tangent to that point. So in this case, ito yon, no? Then you will have your new value of x. So if this is x sub 0, then this is x sub 1, and this is x sub 2. Okay? So after that, you can still pursue, or you can still calculate the next iteration. Kunin mo naman ulit yung derivative dun sa katapat nung bagong x2. And then get the line again, and you will see that it is convergent to the root. So you stop when the iteration is at maximum iteration allowed, or at the acceptable approximate error. No? So ganun yung setup natin. That's how the algorithm works. So let us try to solve it numerically. Okay, so we have the same example as earlier. So f of x is equal to e raised to negative x minus x. Okay. So the first derivative of that is negative e raised to negative x minus 1. So that's the first derivative of this term. So we can now solve for the estimate using these derivatives. We have uh, our next value of x should be equal to the previous value minus the function f of xi divided by its first derivative. So in this case, this is our estimate. And further simplifying that, so kung mapapansin nyo, pinalitan lang naman natin is yung sign. So we distribute this negative sign. Okay? So dinistribute natin yung negative sign. So kung mapapansin nyo, yung ating denominator is just split. Okay? So after that, we already have the estimate. So we have xi plus 1 is equal to this term. Use that to solve for your value or your xi. So let's start with, let's say xi is equal to 0. Okay. Kung mag-start sa 0, then xi is 0 here, plus e raised to 0 is 1 minus 0 divided by 1 plus 1. So you'll have our first our first estimate is 0.5. Okay, and then use that 0.5 to solve for the next value of xi. So that would be 0.5 is equal 0.5 plus e raised to negative 0.5 minus 0.5 divided by e raised to negative 0.5 plus 1. Then you'll get your new value. This is the new value. Okay? And so on. So you just continue if your through this is true error. So let's say we don't know the true error. Let's say EA. If our EA is less than our target, uh, or tolerable error. Okay. So it depends kung anong problem ang binigay, kung anong nakalagay doon sa inyong problem. So that is steps. Okay. So um the algorithm works like this. So again, you just use or initiate all the parameters required. So in this case, initiate your initial guess, your tolerable error, and the maximum iteration. Okay. And at the start, our iteration is zero. Okay. And then proceed to the algorithm. So if our approximate error is still larger than our, let's say, tolerable error, and, mapapansin yung end, no? Our iteration is still less than the maximum iteration, then we can still proceed. Okay. Um, and then compute for our first estimate. In this case, our first estimate is I or xn is equal to xo minus or our initial minus f of xo over the first derivative. So as you see, some books are using I as subscript, some other books are using just numbers. Okay, so it depends on your in your algorithm that which one we will use. These are just indices, and don't be confused with the indices that you use. So if our x of n becomes zero, okay, so it should not be f of xn, but it should be the f of xn is equal to zero. Then you can now solve for the value of your TA. Okay. Okay. So if if it is not yet equal to zero, then solve for EA and then continue on. But if it is equal to zero already, then you can stop. You can just continue here and then check it stop. Okay. Because EA will now be less than ES of that course. Kasi kapag ka f of x mo na is equal to zero na, it will be uh, less than, the approximate error will be less than your tolerable error. Okay, so here are some problems that are being encountered by Newton Raphson. We have something called the reflection point. It is common to sinusoidal waves and hyperbolic functions. This is where the derivative is what they call this is too too flat. It's almost equal to or it almost parallel to the x-axis. So as you see here, it becomes parallel to the x-axis, and at some point it will be too far. It will be too far from the initial condition. So that is called reflection point. So as you see, um, it started with on the right side of the function of the root, okay, and then you go to the left side, and then from the left side you go again to the further right side, and then the further left side. So it's the it's one of the pitfall if the the derivative of the function is almost zero. So in this case, the derivative of this function here at this point becomes flat, so it's almost zero. Ano pa yung isang problem? Yung oscillating local optimum. In this case, this one is our local oscillating local optimum. So we can find here that our function is uh, playing around this curve. This is called the local maximum or minimum. You know, locally it's the minimum in this case. So it's oscillating around that point, in local minimum. Ba't naglalaro yung ating function doon? Because you see at the point where it's minimum, so we have here the minimum point, okay? So this is the minimum value locally. The derivative of the function there is equal to 0, di ba? So the first derivative here at that point is equal to 0 because it's flat. Actually, it's parallel with the x-axis. So its derivative is 0 at the local minimum. At the local maximum, this one is the local maximum, for example, still the derivative is 0. F of x0 still equal to 0. Okay? So at that point, So in this case, these are some of the pitfalls. Then we also have the near zero slope and the zero slope. So at this point, you have the zero slope, and this one is the near zero slope. Okay. So those are the things that make your Newton-Raphson algorithm fails. Okay. Okay. So next is the second method. So as you see here, it has 2 points. You assume 2 points, or you guess 2 points, but it's not bracketing. You know, the assumption is that beyond the 2 points is your root. Okay, it's not in between the interval. So why do you need the 2 points? Because one of the problem of Newton-Raphson is that you are solving the first derivative. Ganito, okay? You're solving the slope. So you're solving the first derivative analytically, diba? So if you will solve it analytically, then it's not purely numerical method. So, but like I said, on the discussion natin ng numerical derivative or differentiation, then we can solve for the first derivative numerically. But that's not the case here. No. So instead of solving uh, the derivative of that function to do the Newton-Raphson, we can just estimate the slope. Okay, you estimate the slope by using 2 points. So you that 2 points, when connected, creates a line, and we assume that the slope of this line is equal to the slope of the line tangent to the point on the center. So we assume that these two lines are parallel. Because they will have the same slope. So if that would be the case, uh we will not be what they call this. We don't need to solve for the derivative now. No. So we can just find the derivative or the slope. You can just find the slope as the change in x here, or change in y over the change in x, or the change in f of x. So in this case, this is your change in y. Nasa taas na ito. And this is that your denominator will be your change in x. Diba? So that becomes your slope, and that is your estimate for the first derivative. So this is not equal. This should be just congruent. It's not congruent, but almost equal. Okay. So we estimate our first derivative as the ratio of change in y over the ratio of change in x. Okay, so we just use this function or this equivalent to the Newton-Raphson equation earlier. Diba sa Newton-Raphson natin, and then Newton-Raphson, that would be x minus f of x over f prime of x, diba? Yan yung sa Newton-Raphson. So you just need to replace this part by this equation, so the estimate. And you'll get here. This is the change in y, and this is your change in x. Diba? So you just use that to replace your first derivative. Okay. So I hope malinaw yon. So how does the second method work? So it's basically the same as the Newton-Raphson. No, the only difference is uh, the slope. Okay, so once you get the slope based from two initial points, so we have here xi and xi minus 1. So these are two initial points. You draw a line connecting those points and then extend it so that it will touch your x-axis. So this is now our xi plus 1. Okay. So it means that that is our new estimate. Okay. And then after you have found your new estimate, you find the value of f of x at that point, at that x is equal to xi plus 1. No, so doon sa part na yon, hanapin mo yung si f of xi plus 1. And then you will now have two, a new line. You will have now a new line connecting the second point and the third point. So in this case, yun. Kunin mo ulit yung line. And then as you see, your estimate is going closer to the convergent point. Now, okay? So, or to the so the second method requires the two initial estimates, okay? But it is not required to uh, identify the sign or you're required to change the sign because it's not like the bracketing method, because the bracketing method, if the change of the sign, so ano ba yung change of sign na sinasabi? Diba, do sa f of xl times f of xu. So if they change it, if this is positive, then this should be negative, yung f of xu, in order for us to be sure that the root is in between those two intervals. In second method, we don't need this check. Okay, we just need the line that is connecting the 2 points defined by xo at saka x1. Okay, so it has the same properties for Newton-Raphson, but it's not guaranteed that it will always converge. It's much easier to solve than Newton-Raphson because you don't need the first derivative in that case. So this is an example of the second method. It's the same function that we have earlier, uh, but uh, the only change is that we now have we don't have the first derivative now. Instead, we replace it with the second derivation of the slope. So again, this part here, uh, ang equivalent nito is yung 1 over f, yung uh, first derivative of the function. Diba? That's the equivalent of this term here. Yung may cover no red pen. Okay, so let's start with providing the initial two guesses. Okay, or no, not that one. So this one and this one. So these are our two initial guesses. Okay, and then we find the values of your f of x to solve for the new value of x of I. So we have here xi is 1, and then we have f of xi. F of xi is 0.632, and then you have your xi minus 1, or one of the initial guesses, which is 0, minus our initial guess xi, which is equal to 1. And then f of x, I negative 1 is 1 again. And this is negative 0.632. Okay, solving that, so we'll just replace the values. Then you'll get your second uh, xi. So in this case, this is your xi plus 1, okay, on the first iteration. Okay? So ito yung, okay? So mapapansin nyo, si xi will now be your xi minus 1. And yung xi plus 1 will now be your xi on the second iteration. And then you solve for the next value, next estimate. That will be your uh, new xi. And the previous xi will be your xi minus 1. Okay? So what you see here is that you remove the farthest part or farthest value of x from the root. So as you get closer and closer, or as your iteration is increasing, you get closer to the root, okay, assuming that you are in the convergence, you're going closer to the root, and then the value of x is the value farthest to the root is being removed every time. So as we do the iteration, kung mapapansin nyo, binabawasan, tinatanggal natin yung farther, yung x na farther from the root. Okay. So what's the compare? How do we compare second method with false position? They have two similar points, right? So as you see, they're technically have the same uh, root estimate, almost same value of the root estimate, because we are also using the slope in false position. Yeah? Pero may requirement kasi sa false position. Sa false position, ang requirement niya, um, they have to have change of sign. It means that the value of your estimate should be inside or within the lower interval and the upper interval. Unlike for second method, we don't need to change sign. Okay, so and then the replacement is different. So in this case, we choose which has the change of sign. If we have the change of sign, then it is retained. So halimbawa, si XL papunta kay X. Okay. So halimbawa, si f of XL multiplied with f of XR is equal or still greater than, let's say, 0. So hindi siya nag-change. Ang nag-change ngayon is si XU at saka si f of XR. Siya yung less than 0. So ito yung nag-change. It means that our XR, or the new root, or the root is in between our estimate and upper limit. Pero sa second method, we don't need that. We just need to replace. So xi, our estimate replaces xi, and the previous xi replaces the initial estimate or initial point that we, or initial guess that we provide. The good thing with false position, although it has additional check, nag-check pa tayo ng sign, pero it's always converge. Unlike for second method, although we don't check if the sign changes, but it may diverge. So false position is sure to go or to determine a route, but it's much slower than the second method. Okay, so that's the trade-off. So false position, as you see, if we say you compute for the same or solve for the same problem, let's say f of x equals to natural logarithm of x, you'll have three iterations to come up with uh, this estimate. Okay. Now for second method, you only need two iterations, and you're almost closer to, or you're much closer to the target. You know. So that's the thing. Okay, so its post position is guaranteed to converge but slow. Second method may not guarantee, but it's still faster. No. All right. So this is are some of the let's say representation, okay, of the false position and second methods. Okay. All right. So computing or let's say testing uh, the the speed of each algorithm, the best or the fastest way, of course, is Newton-Raphson because it is computing using the derivative. But as you see, second method is still faster than false position in that case. Okay. So the algorithm for second method, sige, tingnan natin kung natandaan. First is maglagay ka na, o you define your x I minus 1 at saka your XO. Ano, XO? XI. So, okay. So this is your initial guesses. Okay. And then compute for XI plus 1. And then XI plus 1 becomes your XI and your previous XI becomes your XI minus 1. And then you go back solving for xi and so on. Okay. After you met uh, the criteria, so that is your ES and maximum iteration, then you can stop. No? Okay, so at some point, second method can also be slow. Okay, in order to uh, make it faster, it can have just one single initial condition or initial value. So instead of using or providing two initial values, what we can have is to set a certain perturbation function or perturbation value, which is a percentage, a fraction of your xi that will be representing xi plus one or uh, the two iterations. So we can say now that we have two initial guesses. The first guess, ito yung katumbas ng first guess. Of course, this xi, no, yung ating xi. And the second guess, instead of asking the user for the second guess, we can just say that our second guess is xi plus perturbation function xi. No. So instead of identifying another xi or another value of x, okay, and then use that on the same function of your uh, second method. Okay, so if we will look at the uh, formula of the second our second estimate using or our root estimate using second method, then this one, kung papalitan lang natin yung value ng x, like itong value na to, di ba? So yung xi minus 1, that will be our xi. Tapos yung xi na to, gawin natin siya yung gawin natin na 1 plus yung perturbation xi. So if you put it here, ano, so xi minus 1 plus delta function xi. So it becomes this term here becomes negative delta function xi, di ba? So, ito na yung equivalent ng function natin. Diba? So, kaya yung values natin dito, nagkaroon tayo dito na single value xi. Okay? So, instead of using the two initial guesses. Okay, so example, again, the same function. Same function. Um, our perturbation is just 1% of the original value of x, and our initial iteration, initial value for x is just 1. Okay, so it becomes that, or it is, we assume that this is our first two guesses. So, uh, actually, you can retain the function that you use for second method. Kung nalilito kayo, you can still use this, but you just need to change your second value with this one. Okay, and that's still the same. Okay, you still get the same answers. All right, so using the function that we have for the estimate of the root using modified second, then we just need to replace the perturbation function here, our xi, and f of xi. So in this case, our uh, perturbation function is 0.01 times our xi, that is 1, times f of 1, natin, or f of x. So here is, okay, sulat ko na nga. So this one is 0.01 multiplied by our function is negative 0.63212, and then this point here goes here, and then this point here still goes here. Okay, and then you get your first estimate, and this first estimate will not replace anything. No, it will not replace both of the items, but only the initial one. Okay, so itong x ano to, di ba? Or x of 0. Itong sagot natin magiging x of 1 na. Okay, so our next estimate. Then for the second value of our guess, no, or the interval, second value of the interval, or the second point is just an addition of its 1%. So 1% lang nito, ang i-add mo dun sa original na value, you'll get your next point. Using those 2 points, then get the value of your next iteration or next estimate, x2. Okay, so paano kapag multiple ang roots? Okay, um, you can, your algorithm is or can determine a single root. Ano? So if you want to get multiple roots, then you have to shift your initial guesses. Okay, so that happens when there are multiple roots in the function, and we don't know if how many roots are there. No? So kapag ganun ang setup, ganun ang challenge, so we can just find the first root first using our any methods that we want. And then once we have determined that point, use that to solve for the other roots. Okay. So, well, that's the difficulty, but we can use another method uh, to address the challenge. Okay. So we can use the modified Newton-Raphson. In modified Newton-Raphson, we introduce another function, which is the ratio of our original function and its first derivative. Kung mapapansin nyo, itong u of x coming from this function will be used as our, or it will replace our f of x. So, kanina, f of x siya, magiging u of x na siya. Okay? This is a different function because u of x is equal to the original function divided by its derivative. So para nangyayari dito, nagkakaroon ka ng double derivative dun uh, sa iyong equation. Okay? So if you already have the double derivative, then if you have multiple roots, halimbawa, dalawa yung roots natin, it means that our function is a quadratic equation. So ang first derivative ng quadratic equation is a line. Okay? And then the second derivative of that line will be your slope. So from there, you can already determine what's the slope of that specific line. So kaya, mas tama yung, o mas mabilis natin makikita yung root using this modified Newton-Raphson. Okay? So just replace, mapapansin nyo, if we replace the value of u of x on these two parts, then you are actually using double derivative of f of x in that case. So ito yun. Dito siya nag-appear. Double derivative. Okay, so given this function, it's still the same properties that's as the previous one. The method of solving it is the same, but here we will be using a double derivative. So suppose that we have let's say our function is given as this one, okay? And its first derivative is 3x, this one, ito yung first derivative niya. So in Newton-Raphson, it's just the ratio of the original function divided by its derivative. But in modified Newton-Raphson, you don't do that. You multiply it with your first derivative, so it becomes let's go back to the view. So you change your f of x as the ratio. So mapapansin mo dito, para ka nagkaroon ng f of x over f prime of x. Diba? Yun yung u of x mo. Tapos, dinifferentiate mo pa yung f of x na yon over f derivative. Okay? So, dinifferentiate mo yung nasa loob na yun. So, if you are going to differentiate this, then that is u dv minus v du over v squared. No? Then you'll get this equation. Okay? So, mas mahaba ang equation natin, but still, mas accurate yung ating answer. Let's try. So, this is Newton-Raphson. Mas mabilis siya. Mas mabilis yung modified because we have two derivatives at that same function. So, in this case, we got 6 iterations. So, simple lang yung Newton-Raphson. We just need to replace it. The value of our initial guess, replace all the values of x here. And then you get your estimate. So, if our initial estimate is x equals to 0, okay? So replacing that, you get your first estimate as 0.42. But if you use the same starting point using a modified Newton-Raphson, you see how fast it reaches 1.1. No? First iteration pa lang, mas mabilis pa siya dun sa 6 na iterations ng Newton-Raphson. Okay? So that's the idea. Modified Newton-Raphson is much complex, but it is faster, a lot faster. Okay. So for the next, I think this one is for system of nonlinear equation. You solve the roots simultaneously. Okay. You can use different methods. Okay, you can use all the methods that we have performed earlier, but there's a specific method that we can use for systems of nonlinear equations. So we will discuss this. This is not included in your exam, but we can just discuss this to just a preparatory for the next topic. So um, let's say you choose Newton-Raphson for solving nonlinear equations. And it's a system. It means it has a lot of equations. So kapag sinabi mong systems, madali sana kung system of linear equations. Pag system of linear equations, you just need to have the same family of roots, family of slopes, diba? And you easily get the values of the line. But for nonlinear equations, you can do that. You cannot do that. So instead, you can solve for um, each of the equation using Newton-Raphson formula. No. So if you will use, go back. So recall that the standard Newton option has the equation or the estimate x, the initial guess, minus the function evaluated at that guess divided by its first derivative. Now, if you rewrite that, okay, as our derivative as a function of your interval, then um, we can represent delta x as this part, no, or this function here. So it means that the difference between x and delta x will be uh, the change from your initial condition and your change in xi. So, di ba, ganito yun. Halimbawa, ito yung ating xi. No? And then this is our root. Let's say lang this is our true root. And our initial guess is coming from xi papunta dun sa root. So this is equal to your xi plus 1, di ba? And yung ating new estimate. So yung itong part na to, actually, is just your delta x. Okay? It's the actually negative delta x. So that particular change in your x can be represented by this full term, di ba? So parang nangyari dito, yung xi plus 1 mo is equal to xi plus your delta x. Kasi yung delta x mo is just equal to the negative f of xi over its first derivative. So technically, ito lang naman ang nangyayari doon. So dinagdagan mo siya ng certain change in x, and it coming toward the value of your root. Now, so suppose that we can, just to simplify things, we rewrite this term as our delta xi. Okay? So we can now represent our Newton-Raphson like this one. Okay? Since we have multiple equations, okay, so we can use all this system matrices to solve for the functions or the roots of those equations. So if we have, let's say, 5 equations, then we expect also to find 5 roots of those equations. Okay, so that's the expectation for this uh, matrices. So take note that this is uh, a form of derivative. In our case, ito yon, ano, f of xi over f prime of xi. And we know that if we change one function, okay, that change affects uh, that specific equation. So let's say two variables yun, meron tayong x and y, and we also have two functions, u and v. So meron kang function of u at saka function of v that are dependent on two variables x and y. So again, dalawang ano yun, dalawang function. So kung dodrawin nyo yan, possible siya na meron kang ganyan. So this one is your u of x, y, and ano, mali ako na representation. You can just represent it, sorry. So this represents the one function that is dependent on x and y. And if you change x, if you change x, you are partially changing u. So in this case, you have a partial derivative of u with respect to x. Okay? So kung x lang yung babagoy natin. Similarly, if you change y, you have a partial change on u with respect to y. So these are called partial derivatives, di ba? Ngayon, we assume that that change can be written in terms of matrices. So as you see, we have two possible or four possible um, combinations of u at saka, dahil meron tayong dalawang variable, meron din tayong dalawang functions, then we have uh, four possible combinations of those. So, nandito yon. So, ang isa nating combination is itong part na to, diba? Multiply natin with delta. So, you have the partial derivative of ui and partial derivative of x multiplied with uh, delta xi. Tsaka yung isa pa is yung partial derivative of u I with respect to y, delta y. So this is one specific combination, and this is another combination, di ba? So meron kang dalawang combination for each of the variable. So why do we need to rewrite it like this? Because we need to solve it simultaneously. So translating it in matrix way will allow us to solve it simultaneously. Okay. So we want to consider now the change in U at saka change in V at the same time. Okay. So in that case, as you see, your new estimated root is equal to or is a function of u at saka I mean yung v at saka u and uh, y at saka x. Okay? So it means that uh, your estimate, okay, one of the roots of your estimate is dependent on all of those four values that we have: the v, the y, the x, and the u. Okay? So tatandaan lang, ito lang natin gagamitin. Given yung 2 by 2 na nonlinear equation. Halimbawa, yan ay 3 by 3, then you expect that this will be a 9 9 item matrix. So, mas lalaki lang yung inyong system, but still you will use the same methods. Same assumption lang ng matrices. O same values ng matrices. Example, so suppose that we have two functions x squared plus xy equals to 10 at saka y plus 3xy squared is equal to 57. Kailangan lang natin i-define muna are the partial derivatives at saka yung initial guess at saka yung partial derivative. So we don't know the relationship of these two functions. Okay? So it's better to just well, you cannot the reason why you're guessing is because you don't know the values. So let's have 2 points. Dalawang function yan, dalawang variable. So let's start with our initial guess with x equals to 1.5 and our y at 3.5. Okay. So next is to solve for the value of u. So balikan lang natin yung equation natin ng u. Wait, this one. Okay. So we have u. Sorry. Our u is the partial derivative of u with respect to, sabi natin na ito yung u natin. Tama ba? Ito ba yung u natin? Partial derivative to x. Okay. So ito yung u natin. And this is our v. Okay. So this is the function of, this is our u. And the partial derivative of this function with respect to x is 2 uh, 2x plus partial derivative of x with of this term with respect to x is just y. No? So mapapansin nyo, nagbago lang siya in terms of x. So we didn't change y. So, and then the same function but with respect to y. So hindi walang value yung y dito. So the derivative we can see x squared as a constant here because it doesn't change with respect to y. Therefore, we can just the first derivative of this is equal to 0. So and then xy the derivative of xy with respect to y is just x. No? So so this came from this part here. Tapos, partial derivative of this function with respect to x. So, y doesn't have any dependency on x at this term. So, that is equal to 0. But in this term, we have dependency on x. So, 3, 3x times y squared. 3 times y squared. So, x here is differentiated to 1. Derivative of x is 1. So, kaya naging 3y na lang tayo dito. And then similarly, evaluate this function here with respect to y. First derivative of y equals to 1. First derivative of y squared is equal to 2y. So 3y, sorry, we have 3x times 2y. So you'll get 6y. Okay? So these are our partial derivatives. And then use this formula, ano, ilipat lang natin or i-translate lang natin yung functions natin. So you we already have the functions of u, functions of b, and then the partial derivatives. So replace that. Hindi lang naisulat dito. But use this value. So ito yung gagamitin natin, u, v, and partial derivatives. Replace that on this functions here, on this estimate of x and estimate of y, and then solve. Ano? So your u of x is 6.5, u of y, u with respect to y is 1.5 and so on. And then use that, mapansin natin, the first derivative, first estimate natin using these functions here, hindi na sinulat, dinirekta na natin as the second row. So this is the output of this term here. You know. So okay, so that is your first estimate for x, and this is our first estimate for y. And then following that, we just need to replace the value of x and y on this um, equation. So mapapansin nyo, once you already derive your function, then you can just reuse it every time. No, no need to no need to solve it again. So the target, we don't have the target approximation error. Okay, so maybe uh, we can solve for the value of these functions with respect to let's say xi. So this is our, for the second iteration, we now have xi equals to 1.9987 and yui is 3.0229. So pakisulat naman, at ako magtatawag. Pakisulat naman itong values na to. 1.9987. Dito natin sulat. Xi is 1.9987. Tsaka yi. So this is our estimate is equal to 3.229. 3.0022. Okay, so those are our values. Okay. Okay, let's solve for sino man pwede mag-solve ng UI. So ang UI natin, ang U natin ay x squared plus xy. So our u is x squared plus xy. Okay. So x squared plus xy is equal to what? Sinong mauna mag-solve? Let's see. Okay. So given tayo ng values ng let's solve for ui first. So meron kang sige, tawag na tayo ng uh, sinong pwede? Let's say wala bang volunteer? Any volunteer? Si ano na lang, si U1 na lang, si U1. U1, pasolve naman nung first UI. Ito to. Yung UI, okay, given ka ng xi at saka yi. So yung UI, ito yung isosolve natin. This is our function for u. We just um, replace the values of x and y. So that is, let me, so habang nagsosolve ka, then we can 1.9. Okay, so paano solve ni Yuan? Nandito ka pa ba, Yuan? So gagamitin lang natin yung x and I to solve for u. So ui is equal to x squared. X squared is 1.9987 squared minus plus 1.9987 times 3.00229 minus 10. So that is our UI. Sige nga, pasolve naman ako. Sige, Krisa. Kasi sino bang sino unang? Sige, Krisa, anong sagot natin sa UI?
Negative 4.5212 po.
Negative 4.5212. Okay. So, okay na yung 4 decimal places, no? So, next, yung VI. So, using this, ang VI natin is equal to y plus 3xy squared minus 57. So, that's your VI. So, VI is equal to, ano, papalitan nyo lang yung values nun with respect to, sige, Karil,
Sir, yung sa UI po ay ano po, may times 10 raised to negative 3 po.
sige.
So, negative 0.0045 po.
Ito, e raised na, times 10 to the negative 3. Ba? Times 10 to the negative
Yes
3.
po.
Okay. How about the VI? Okay, so after nyo masolve yung BI, susunod nyo lang dito, and then u of x, so ito yon. Ito naman yung gagamitin nyo using this values then. So replace xi and saka yi. Then you'll get your u. And then yung uy naman, u with respect to y, so this is partial, ito kasi yung partial derivative of u with respect to x. and this is partial derivative of y with respect to uh of u with respect to y, okay, and so on. So after nating ma-solve yung mga values na yan, so meron ka na dito, 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 and dito, you just need to replace that with your value here, with these functions. Okay? That's it. May tanong kayo? Sabihin nyo na kung anong malabo dun sa, ang mapapasama dun sa inyong exam ay Newton-Raphson, second, at saka modified second. Yun yung kasama dun sa exam. So I suggest that you ask, kung ano yung hindi malinaw, you can ask na. Okay, Mr. Dimailig, sige nga. Ang tanong
Sir,
natin.
pure computation lang po ulit yung exam po.
Ayun,
Yung magiging exam po, pure computation lang po. Wala pong concepts.
yung exam. Oo. Hindi, meron pala. Naglagay ako doon ng, doon sa exam ninyo, meron doon part ng testing how well you know the algorithm. No? So, normally, 'di ba, pag tayo nagdi-discuss ng algorithm, we are using flowchart or sometimes we are using graphs, 'di ba? Normally, graphs ang ginagamit ko kapag nagdi-discuss ako sa inyo. But you can also use flowchart to discuss the algorithm, 'di ba? Or sometimes we use ano ba yung ginamit natin last time? We can just use not graphs but a table, let's say, yung step 1, sorry, steps, and then yung ating, so this is iterations pala, iterations, and then yung gagawin natin values o yung operations. So let's sabihin natin operations. So step 1, let's say, doon sa ating second method, ano bang ginawa natin sa second method? Siyempre, mag-start ka muna ng initialize yung guess. The So, nag-initialize tayo ng guesses. Step 2, once na ma-initialize mo yung guess, you compute for the value of the f of xi at saka yung f of xi minus 1. So, it initially compute for the value of the function at the initial guesses. Tapos, third natin, you solve for the value of your estimate using the formula. Using the formula, tama? And then the fourth one, you check. Check if EA is greater than ES. Then you continue. If yes, return to step, no, not step, but what happens if that is true, yung xi plus 1 will becomes your xi, and your xi will become your xi minus 1. And then repeat step 2, di ba? So and so on. Hanggat hindi na-meet yung criteria. So, ganun style. So, pwede din yan. Pwede din yung way na to describe your algorithm. So, first part of the exam would be about testing you how you understand the algorithm. And the second part is about solving, problem solving. Okay? So, you can use your calculators. You can also bring the copy of the formulas, no? So walang problema kung may formulas na kayong dala sa exam. I hope you can use it. Yeah, that's it. Ilang yung pointers natin? May tanong pa? Sige. And question. Karin?
Sir, yung test 1 po ba ay for all methods po?
Test 1 for all methods. What do you mean?
Like yung sa algorithm po, like lahat po
Hindi
ba
naman,
ng methods?
paano ba? Hindi siya yung basta bibigyan mo yung algorithm for the method na sasabihin ko. Parang may mga tanong siya doon sa specific. Ah. Pero I think ano yun, yung limang algorithms natin. So we have you need to know how the algorithm works. Bisection method, false position, the second method, Newton-Raphson at saka yung modified second. So you should understand how these algorithm work. And if you understand it by heart, then madali lang yung exam. Ang problema lang pag hindi nyo alam hindi nyo talaga naintindihan yung algorithm, it would be very difficult. Ano? Tapos sa part 2 is solving na. So parang tatlong items lang yun. Yung solve nyo. No? Okay. Any other question? You will be given 2 hours to solve everything, or to finish the exam. So that's why you can you can practice yung sa calculator nyo, no? Practice. Or you can also use ano pwede natin gamitin. Wala, calculator lang pala ang pwedeng gamitin sa exam. Anyway, so may tanong pa kayo sa exam? Sino nga yung nag-ano kanina? Nag-participate sa discussion. Baka makalimutan ko lang. Sino yung nag-participate sa discussion? Ah,
Si Miss Camacho po.
Camacho?
Yes po.
March. Okay. Isa lang ba ang Camacho dito? Dito ako malilito. Sino pa bang Camacho? Anong first name ni Camacho? Sige, basta isa naman ng Camacho, so hindi naman ako malilito din. Sino pa? Sino pa yung sumuot kanina? Si Camacho lang ba? Wala na? Alright. So that's it. Thank you for attending the class. If you have question, just ask it directly do sa ating Google Classroom, para makita din ng classmates. Yun nga lang, hindi ako madalas talaga nakakapag-check. Pag nasa school na lang ako nakakapag-check ng ating Google Classroom. So, ako naman ang papa-exam sa inyo, so you can ask questions during the exam related to the instruction. Pero the answer will not be given to you. Anyway, thank you very much for attending and have a nice afternoon.
Thank you po, sir.
Fine, thank you po, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you po.